I talk about background checks. This guy says we already have background checks. I say not for private sales, we don't. And then his response is this. Now you are reaching. Okay, so let's just pause right there. I'm not reaching when I say that we don't have federal laws that say we should conduct background checks on private gun sales. That's not a fucking reach. That's a fact. I know facts bother you fucking people, but it's still a fact. He goes on to say, no one can control private sales. We're not saying that we can't, just like we can't control drunk driving or murder or grape or any other fucking crime. But we can limit it, we can put a dent in it, we can mitigate it. He goes on to say, that's how criminals get their guns. People that follow the rules are the only ones you are hurting. Yes, I understand that's how criminals get their guns. I'm trying to cut off some of the avenues that criminals use to get their guns. One of the avenues that criminals use to get their guns is straw purchases. Buying at a gun show from a private seller numerous guns that aren't subjected to background checks, and then taking those guns and selling them on the black market because there's no record of the sale, there's no record of the purchase, there's no record of that person ever owning them. That's criminals getting their hands on guns. We're trying to close that. Is that going to completely eliminate every single avenue that criminals have to get their hands on guns? No. Is it going to lessen the number of avenues criminals have to get guns? Yes. It's going to mitigate the number of people. If somebody is used to walking into a gun show every month and buying 200 guns from private sellers because the law says he doesn't have to submit to a background check, and that's how he's making his money. He's buying his 200 guns a month and he's selling them on the streets to criminals illegally. And then all of a sudden the laws change and the person in the gun show selling the guns doesn't want to have any issue with the law, so now they're going to submit background checks on everybody that buys their guns. Then that guy who buys 200 guns a month is going to go somewhere else. He's not going to go back to that gun show. We have now cut off an avenue. And all we had to do by cutting off that avenue was expand background checks into person-on-person sales. Now, he's still going to go try and look for a gun somewhere else, but now it becomes harder for him. Now he doesn't have as many paths to success as he once did. And then you end this thing by saying people that follow the rules are the only ones you are hurting. How does it hurt you to pass a background check? How does that hurt you? Does it, when you go to fill out your background check and you submit that, are you denied a gun? Did you fail to pass the background check? Because if so, then you're the kind of person that shouldn't have a gun to begin with. If you passed your background check and were able to buy guns, then it didn't hurt you. You're still a legal gun owner in the United States of America. So how does having to submit a background check for a gun sale or purchase hurt you? And here's the thing that blows my mind with you guys. You guys claim to give a shit about people. You guys claim to be the law and order party. You guys claim to give a shit about our kids and our communities and our schools and whatnot and what have you. But you won't submit to a background check on a private person-to-person sale because, well, some criminal's going to buy a gun somewhere else. You don't see how fucking weak that is? If you're a law-abiding person, if you're somebody that can pass a background check, then passing a background check doesn't hurt you. It only hurts people that can't pass a background check.